Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're getting ready for the UPSC exams, this deep dive is for you. We're going to unpack one nation, one time,
Oh, yeah?
and this is a topic
Yeah.
that's pretty much guaranteed to be on your mains exam,
For sure.
and maybe even prelims too.
Absolutely. It's a big one. It's a game changer, really. I mean, India is about to get a serious time upgrade. We're talking a single, unified, super accurate time system for the whole country.
And we're not just, making this up or speculating.
Yeah.
We've got the draft of the actual legal metrology, Indian Standard Time, IST rules 2025.
Right.
The document that's laying out how this is all going to work.
Yeah.
And we're talking about some serious organizations involved. The Department of Consumer Affairs, CSIR-NPL ISRO.
Yeah, these are the big players in India's, science and tech world. And when they team up like this for something, it's a big deal.
So let's get into it. What exactly are we talking about here when we say one nation, one time?
Well, think about India, right? It's huge. Geographically, I mean, different regions have historically operated on slightly different times, and, maybe that wasn't a big issue in the past.
Right.
But today, everything's connected. The world moves fast. Milliseconds matter. And having a unified, accurate time is critical for everything. Finance, communication networks, you name it.
So it's not just about making sure everybody's clocks are set the same.
Yeah.
This is about a 21st century timekeeping infrastructure for India.
Exactly. And a really important part of that is getting off of foreign systems for timekeeping, mainly GPS. That reliance has actually been a bit of a strategic weakness for India.
You're talking about the cargo war.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
During that conflict, there were some situations where relying on GPS could have actually hurt our military operations.
Oh.
Imagine you're trying to coordinate airstrikes, troop movements, things like that.
Right.
And the timing information you need is controlled by another country?
Uh-huh.
That's a big risk. So you see, one nation, one time, it's about more than just convenience.
Yeah.
It's a national security issue.
Absolutely. So how are we going to achieve this accuracy and independence? How do we do it?
That's where NAVIC comes in.
Yeah.
India's homegrown navigation system.
Okay.
It's built to provide precise location and time, and with these new rules, it's going to be essential for sending IST across the country.
Okay, so NAVIGS is the backbone of this whole system, but how does it actually work? How do we make sure the time it gives us is so accurate?
This is where it gets really cool. At the heart of one nation, one time, you have atomic clocks.
Atomic clocks.
These are incredibly precise instruments developed by CSIR-NPL. They measure time based on the vibrations of atoms. We're talking about levels of accuracy that are almost impossible to comprehend. I mean, these clocks can lose 1 second over millions of years.
Millions of years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so these atomic clocks are going to be like the master timekeepers, making sure NAVIC and every clock in India is synced to the same incredibly accurate time.
Right. So we have this incredibly accurate time from these atomic clocks. We're using NAVIC to spread it across the country. And this level of accuracy, you said this isn't just for, everyday stuff. This is for all sorts of sectors that are crucial for India's growth and development.
Yeah.
So give me some examples. Like, how does this actually play out in the real world?
Oh, absolutely. Let's start with technology. We're in a digital revolution right now. 5G, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. All these things are advancing so fast.
Right.
And all of these technologies, they depend on precise time synchronization to work properly.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a 5G network where data is arriving out of order because of tiny timing errors. It'd be a mess.
That makes sense. And I know BS has reported on how things like high-frequency trading in financial markets that need super accurate timekeeping too.
Right. Even a tiny difference in time can mean millions of dollars lost or gained. With one nation, one time, India's financial markets are going to be on a level playing field, and that'll attract more global investment.
So we've got cutting-edge technology finance. It sounds like one nation, one time is really setting India up to be a major force in the global tech scene.
Exactly. By creating this unified, accurate time system, India is showing the world how serious they are about technology. And that can lead to more innovation, more investment, even more jobs within India.
Yeah, but let's be real here. Nothing this big comes without challenges, right?
Of course not. One of the biggest hurdles is going to be getting everyone on board. Think about it. Telecom companies, internet providers, financial institutions, government agencies, they've all been using their own systems,
Right.
often relying on those foreign time sources.
Yeah. So how do we make this transition to ISD smooth?
Yeah.
How do we get everyone on board?
Well, first off, the government needs to be clear and consistent about the benefits of one nation, one time, and what it's going to require.
Hmm.
Then there's the tech side of things. A lot of organizations are going to need to upgrade their systems to be compatible with NAVIC and atomic time, and that takes investment and expertise.
Right. And what about businesses that are working globally?
Yeah,
Aren't they going to have trouble juggling all these different time zones while trying to use India's new system?
that's a good point. Making sure this integrates smoothly with global time standards is going to be crucial, especially for businesses doing international trade and finance.
Right.
We might need new protocols or adapt existing ones to fit with India's unified time.
And we can't forget about cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And with something as important as our national timekeeping, we have to be really careful about any threats, right?
Absolutely. Cybersecurity is crucial. Think about it. If someone were to mess with India's time signal, it could be devastating. Our economy, infrastructure, even national security could be affected.
So it's not just about basic security measures. This is about making a system that's resilient that can handle serious attacks.
Exactly. We need strong encryption backup systems, even alternative ways to get the time out there if the main network goes down.
So one nation, one time. It's not just about the tech. It's about planning and doing it right. Sounds like a huge project, but it seems like India's ready to go for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And with the potential benefits so big, it's a challenge worth taking on.
I agree. It's fascinating to see how something as basic as time can have such a huge impact on a country's progress.
It really is. It's about modernizing infrastructure, increasing our technology, and ultimately putting India in a stronger position on the world stage.
And for our listeners out there who are hoping to be part of that journey,
Okay.
this is a topic you really need to understand.
Yeah, and we've touched on some of the complexities involved, right? Like, how do we actually implement something this big?
Yeah.
We're talking technological upgrades, making sure it works with global systems, and then that huge cybersecurity piece.
Right. So let's zoom out for a sec and think about the big picture.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways here for our listeners?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that one nation, one time, it's about so much more than just clocks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is about India's tech future. This is laying the groundwork for all kinds of advancements, 5G, AI, high-frequency trading, scientific research.
It's about India taking control.
Yeah.
Becoming self-reliant in technology, making sure we're secure. But we've got to remember, this is a journey. It's going to take time, and there will be bumps along the way. To make it work, we need good planning, good execution, and the ability to adapt as we go.
As we move forward with this, it's important to think about not just the tech stuff, but also the bigger picture.
Right.
How will this change India's role in the global tech world? How will different sectors and industries be impacted? What about the everyday lives of people? How will this affect them?
Those are some great questions for our listeners to think about.
Yeah.
As UPSC aspirants, you're going to be dealing with these issues. You'll be shaping policies that impact India's future. And one nation, one time. This is a perfect example of how something that seems technical can have a huge impact on society and the economy.
Yeah, with India becoming more and more digital and aiming to be a global leader in tech and innovation, this is definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay, so we've really gone deep on this one nation, one time initiative.
We have. We've gone from IST and these amazing atomic clocks all the way to how this could change India's tech scene and boost our global standing.
And we talked about why this is so important for national security. Especially after what happened during the Kargil War, getting off of systems like GPS, that's a big step for India.
Yeah, it really shows how India is ready to take charge. Be independent when it comes to tech and security.
And of course, we talked about the challenges. How do we actually make something this big happen? The tech upgrades, making sure it works with systems around the world, and then that huge question of cybersecurity.
So to wrap it all up, what are the big things our listeners should take away from all this?
I think the main takeaway is this: one nation, one time isn't just about clocks. This is about India's future in tech. This is building the foundation for progress in so many areas, like 5G, AI, high-frequency trading, scientific research, you name it.
It's about India taking its future into its own hands.
But it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take careful planning and execution, and we need to be able to adapt along the way.
And as we move forward, we can't just think about the technical details. We have to think about the bigger picture. How will this change India's role in the global tech world? What will it mean for different industries and sectors? How will it affect everyday people?
Those are some great questions for our listeners to think about. As UPSC aspirants, you're going to be dealing with these issues. You'll be shaping policies that impact India's future. And one nation, one time is the perfect example of how something that seems purely technical can have a huge impact on our society and our economy.
Absolutely. With India going digital in such a big way and wanting to be a global leader in tech and innovation, this is definitely something to watch.
Totally. So if you're preparing for those UPSC exams, make sure you dig into one nation, one time. This isn't just a topic for your exams. This is a glimpse into the future of India.
And don't forget, knowledge is power, especially in a world that's changing so fast.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned a lot. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your fellow UPSC aspirants. Oh, and if you want to learn more about this, the source for today's episode was BS.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of your knowledge.